Today, we're going to talk about doing outreach to creators and like influencers, also on like TikTok, and how you can use that to sort of leverage, getting almost like quote unquote free marketing. So I found an example online. There's a question you see all the time. Some guy was like, as you can see on the screen, why do influencers never answer my DMs or emails? He tried to send 50 messages to different influencers and got zero responses. So I've wrote an article, well, two articles on this. One where I break down what I'm going to talk about in this video in a bit more detail, if you prefer to read something. But then also I've got a link to my Substack articles where I actually give like template messages that I send. So over 2024, really, a lot of the work I was doing was outreach for brands to, it's for TikTok Shop, right? So we'd find creators, send them messages, arrange collaborations with them, send them samples, they'd make videos. And it took a month or two of like testing, but eventually I got to a point where I was just getting at least like 15 to 20 emails a day coming in, right? It just got to a point where it's just too much to even manage all the responses, especially when you're replying to people, they're saying yes, they're interested, then you've got to arrange the samples. I had a whole system for it in the end. I built like a big workflow and a spreadsheet to manage it, but it got pretty intense. So I'm pretty confident, I know what I'm saying, and I know what I'm talking about when it comes to doing the outreach. So to give you a quick overview of what it is, like, it's more like a 3 or 4 step process, right? So if you want to do outreach to creators, the first step you need to do is get a list. So this guy here, he sent out 50 emails. 50 messages on Instagram, I believe, and that's just it's not enough, right? So if anything, you want to be sending 50 a day. So the first step really is to build yourself up a list of emails specifically of different creators that you want to work with. We say emails because it's more personal. There's a higher chance that they get opened and replied to. Because with Instagram and like specifically sending direct messages, they're going to get loads of those anyway. So it's a way to sort of cut around the noise and show that you're interested. Because a lot of creators actually already have links in their profile to their, or it'd be like a link tree, or they might even have like, here's my business email. So you want to collect those emails and as many of them as you can. Back when I did it, we used a software from within China, and it had like scraped TikTok, and I was able to just pull those emails for me. So that made it a lot easier. Not sure if there's any software in the West that do that, but there might be. So I'll do a little bit of research on that. If you can do that, that's great. Otherwise, make sure you have to dedicate a week or two to like really building out a list. But if you really sit down and do it, you can get a good list set up quite quickly. Once you have your list, I recommend using some email software. So I used a software called reply.io, and it's pretty straightforward. It's just a way to sort of, it tracks everything. It shows when they've been read, how many replies you got. All you have to do is just upload your spreadsheet with all the email addresses and the names, which is also something I should have mentioned with your list. You want the first name, you want the surname, account name, and then the email address. If you can have that for everyone, it's going to make your life a lot easier, and it means you can personalize these emails that you're sending out automatically. So upload that list into reply.io or a similar software, and from there you just need to set up the messages that get sent. So you just set up the subject line, and then you set up the body of the email. You can also set up split tests if you want to try different things, but like I said before, you can read like the exact message I sent out to people if you want to use those. I know I'll explain them soon, but the third step really is about the message that you send out itself, right? So there's 2 elements here, which is the subject line, but then also the body. So with the subject line, again, personalization is key across all of this. So make sure the subject line, if you can, mentions their first name or the account name that of their platform. So I generally went with something where it's just like our brand name, or the brand name I was representing, then like an X, their brand name or account name, and then like a collaboration, right? So just nice and simple. It's pretty short, but also it adds intrigue, right? So that's the idea of the subject line, is that they are interested enough to click it and see what you have to offer. With the body of the email, like I said, I break this down in the article, but it comes down to just one. I find it works to just pay him a compliment. I was sending out a lot of emails, and the compliment wasn't really authentic. I didn't actually watch their content and go, "Hey, I really enjoy your content," blah blah blah. But that's just business, Everyone does it, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. So to start with a compliment, say what you enjoy about their work, why they stood out to you as someone that you want to work with. Then you just may introduce, shortly. Sorry, quickly introduce yourself in a short little sentence, saying who you are, what you're doing, what you're offering. Right. So you're like, "Hey, I want to work with you to, send you a sample or whatever else." Then, if you can, if you have the means, you want to sort of enhance the offer. So in our case with the brands, but they were like, "Hey, if any of your videos do well, we're happy to actually run adverts to them and like boost their reach." So if they made like one video, got a bunch of sales to their fans, we'd be like, "Okay, we're going to spend $1,000, and thousands of people are going to see your video, which is actually going to help you get more sales, but also it's going to help grow your account." So like to them, that's an added incentive. So if you have something which you're going to do, which will be in the interest of the creator that you're going to message, definitely mention that in the email. And then finally, really, is the call to action. So I found a lot of these creators, they don't talk a lot. I mean, of the many replies I received, like no one really said anything more than just "I'm interested." So like people, they just, I guess they haven't got much time to sit around and text. But the call to action was just, I just said, "Look, if you're interested, just just send a single reply to this email. I'm interested." That's it. Like, and to be fair, that's what I asked for, and that's what they did. But it worked because, like, yeah, I'm interested. So you go, reply to this email, "I'm interested," and then I'll send you a couple more details about the next steps. And that's all it is, really. So I realized I just explained the entire system of doing influencer outreach and whatever else, but it's what worked for me. It worked really well. So I think if you adopt something similar, you're going to get results. But more to the point, you can't just send 50 messages to a couple of influencers in a week and expect to get results. It's not going to work like that. You have to take a mass approach to this and do it at numbers and make sure your message and the subject line are on point, because at the end of the day, that's what works. That's what converts as well. So if you want more information, I think there's also some bonus tips in there in the article. I'll link it in the description. But if you read that, you should. It spells out a bit more clear for you. And also, like I said, I have examples of the exact messages that I send. So if you're interested, go to the description, find the links. It'll be pretty clearly labeled. And if you enjoyed it, leave a like. If you have any questions, let me know. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.